Yo, what's up, mga papi? It's me again. So this time we topped the Extravaganza Main event for the month of May. I went X1 and only lost to the undefeated guy, and that went to game 3, and I just didn't draw a second name, and I would have just won with Chen, but it is what it is. Got 5th, and here we go. Let's go with the profile first. So the profile is a little bit standard for the engine. 3 Lulu, 3 GG, 2 Nian Nian, 1 Tutu, 3 Lily, 3 Lao Lao, 3 Kowloons, 3 Qinglong, 2 Chuchi, and 1 Xuan Wu. I have this ideology that it should be a 27 card mandatory group for the virtual world deck, and that's gonna be 24 for the engine and 3 cards for the desires. And you just have to max out on the hand effects, because you know you want to see the hand effects to be able to play. So these 27 for me are mandatory. Nothing much to say about that. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Then after that, we have more consistency cards. 2 Foolish Goods, 1 Called By, and then Italy. Because the deck has some consistency issues, so you know, gotta make sure that you have the names in hand. That's why I have the Foolish Goods. If you do have enough names in hand, then you can just use this for your discard fodder anyways. Called By is extremely good, going first and going second. You stop plays, and going second against Dragon Link. If you draw this against their seal, then you know you're good to go. That forces out a Savage Negate as well, and it's also good with triple tactics, because this doesn't negate activations. So you can actually activate triple tactics when you activate Called By. And then with that in mind, let's go on to the going second card. So basically, I treat this as a going second card as well, but it's also really good in going first, because you know when you get hand trapped, you just either draw 2, or when you have enough, you just look at their hand and shuffle 1 back. So it's extremely good. 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Bells, and 2 Twin Twisters. So yeah, basically Ash, you know, nothing much to say about that. Ash is absolutely crazy about against a lot of decks, Shadow Fusion, stuff like that. And I went away from Droll because I wasn't expecting to face like 5-7 Dragon Link players. I was expecting Pranks, Invoke, Shadal, Dogmatica, Eldritch, stuff like that. So I wanted something that was good against a lot of decks. And this guy, Ghost Bell, was one of my MVPs actually. Ghost Bell stops Doodle Doo, Bow Wow, stops Nadir Servant, Golden Lord, Sanguine, all that kind of stuff. And Twin Twisters is really good, because one of the weaknesses of the deck are interruption traps that remove monsters. Right? So let's say Dino Miscus, Karma Cut for weird BA players, and stuff like Conquistador, Torrentials. So you want to be able to get rid of those, and this one also doesn't play into Lancia games 2 and 3, plus the fact that you can snipe Pandemonium and Schism during the standby phase. So that's pretty much it for that. That's why I went with these, because like I wanted a lineup that was going to be live against a myriad of decks, and not just playing to beat one singular type, which was Dragon Link. And you know, so let's move on. That's the main deck. That's 41 cards. Let's go to the extra deck. Zulkin, Crystal Wing, the package. Yeah, that's your Nib protection, and 3k body, extremely good. And Stardust, Juju, Coral Dragon. Draw cards, absolutely crazy, because you're not running Prosperity, you're on Desires. You want to be able to have discard fodder for your Twisters and your Xuan Wu and your Qinglong, so I don't really like Prosperity, I run these. And then removal cards, they're really good, because you just Synchro 6, you remove 1, and then you summon another level 6, because you have a lot in the main deck, and then you just make a rank 6 to further remove some stuff from the field. That's why the deck is really great going second, because you have a lot of stuff in the ED that can remove stuff. Shen, best boy, girl, QB, whatever you want to call it. Shenshen Crystal Wing Chuchi is enough to beat a lot of decks. I've been saying that forever. A lot of people don't seem to believe it, and now I have proved it. So yeah, Shenshen kills a lot of decks, and when you have protection with it via the form of Crystal Wing, then you're good to go. Let's say Eldritch, right? The only play that they're going to be doing is like sending Shenshen, and when you have Crystal Wing, then you can negate that. And with Shenshen on the field, they can't even send something on the grave to something on the field to the grave as cost for Lord. So they're not going to be able to beat over it unless they have something like the Invoked Engine, which is also hurt by the by Shenshen basically, and you know. So that's pretty cool against Shaddoll. You can either pop it for Shaddoll Fusion so that they don't resolve if they don't have anything in hand, or you can just let them summon Apkalone, and then you pop the Apkalone on the new Chain Link. Obviously, you have to think about Meltdown if they have Meltdown. So yeah, that's really cool because like the Shaddoll Fusion is going to be banished, and their Apkalone is not going to be able to add anything because it's not going to be sent to the grave. I played Vermilion and Cloud Castle because I wanted more removal. I'm not playing the Dragoon Kaliga Mud Dragon package, so I have space for this. Vermilion is extremely good against control decks and even combo decks because it's just a removal. It's really, really good. Banishes one tuner, and when it's destroyed, you can add a tuner back. I've actually added back Ash off of this, so it's really cool. And Cloud Castle can revive this guy, and you know, VFD plays before, right? You revive this and you pop another one. That's always been extremely good, and you have a rank 9 with Enter Blathnir to make another removal. And in a pinch, you can also revive Shenshen if you wanted to. Didn't come up for me though this tournament. Next one, Bamboozling Gossip. Extremely, extremely good. A lot of people have cut it because people have been running Crystal Wing, but it's really, really good going second even. Because like if you're trying to break a board, you don't want to play into Nib, and you're not really running Prosperity, so the effect does not conflict. So Bamboozling Gossip is absolutely crazy. It came up for me like 3 to 4 times, saved me from Nib a lot of times. Really, really good card, and if you can't get to Crystal Wing going first, then you can just set this up with Shenshen, and it's pretty much the same thing. Fortune Tune for your Zeus play. Dodges Punishment and Conquistador. It's still very relevant to this day. And for the rank 6s, Fan and M7. I'll just put the Thunder Charger here as well, because I have to say I summoned Fan a hell of a lot of times today. This guy put in work because it banishes 2, right? You detach 2, you banish one from the field face up and one from either graveyard, but you're basically banishing from theirs. And that's really, really crazy because it's just 2 spots that you two cards that you're gonna remove from play, and that's extremely good. Plus the fact that it's gonna be live for Zeus anyways because you have the Thunder Charger, so you just overlay the Charger and then you go for Zeus. And then the one that I showed you earlier, Enter Blathnir, non-targeting removal. It banishes 1 from anywhere. Outs Dragoon, outs anything, and it doesn't target. You know, stuff that don't target are usually really good, like Seal, Levy, stuff like that. And then of course the Zeus. So, extremely good stuff. For me, the extra deck is where the fun lies, because this is where the versatility is. And this is where you're going to be thinking. You have to know the lines of play that you have to go through to be able to break your opponent's board. And yeah. Alright, so now let's go to the side deck. Side deck. 1 Pank. Pank is absolutely crazy. There's a reason why it's at 1. Quick effect, 26 body, special summon, you know, really, really good. Now the 3 Drolls, I didn't main the Droll. The Ghost Bell in the main deck was Droll before. I changed it to Ghost Bell because I wanted, like I said, more versatility in the main for a lot of other matchups, and I put Droll in because you gotta respect Dragon Link. If you face it and you don't have this, you would wish that you had it. 2 Dark Rulers. You will notice later on that I do not have Nibs and Lancias. The reason for that being, I think Lancia is very underwhelming against a lot of decks. Lancia against Dragon Link doesn't really matter if they don't draw their Chaos Engine, and usually they can just end on their board anyways. Lancia against Tri-Brigade sometimes doesn't even matter because a lot of people are playing 3 Trap Tricks and 3 Revolts. 1 kit is basically a live Revolt, and that, you know, that is still really good for them. So I'd rather play something else. And this is also gonna come up if you're up against stuff like Zoo Eldritch. Because like Zoo Eldritch, you have, you know, Ghost Bell for the Sanguine, You have Chuchi for the Conquistador, stuff like that. But for the Trident, you're not gonna have a lot of stuff to deal with it games 2 and 3 because they're usually gonna go Bunny Blast, right? So your Qinglong is gonna be like underwhelming. So yeah, Dark Ruler also comes up with that, and again for combo decks. For the more back row removal cards, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpies, and the third Twin Twisters. Came up a lot. I mean, crazy cards. Blowouts. I only had space for 2 more, but I also needed the third twin because like if you're up against Pranks or Shaddolls, you want to be able to have this to snipe their stuff in the standby phase. So gotta respect back row decks. 1 Pank, 3 of these, and then 2 twins in the main. So that's a lot of stuff for back row removal. And yeah, pretty much. Okay, for the other cards, these are gonna be the traps. 2 there can be only ones, and 1 skill drain. 2 anti-spell and 1 Imperial Order. I feel like these 3 are pretty standard. 2 anti-spell and 1 Imperial Order, really good against a lot of decks because they can't. If they put Dark Rulers in, then they're just gonna be dead. Imperial Order is just crazy. It's an auto win button, so you just gotta put it there. And yeah, the interesting thing here is this guy. 2 there can be only once and 1 skill drain. Why did I run 1 skill drain instead of the third there can be only 1? Well, because it's better. Skill drain is better against more decks than there can be only 1. There can be like prank kids that there can be only 1 doesn't do anything against. Although they do play around skill drain as well. Weird decks like Invoked Eldritch and stuff like that, they can also play around it a little bit. So yeah, I mean it's equally good against Dragon Link anyway, so why not just play it? It's R1 for a reason. And you would probably also notice that there's no Gamma. I decided not to play Gamma because when playing against good players, I just realized that the better ones don't really activate Lancia unless you have a monster on board. So your Gamma is usually not going to be live. So I'd rather have a simplified board like a Shenshin Chuche or like a Shenshin plus 1 of these and hand traps in hand. So yeah, because like I would rather have this because like having 6 in your deck in a 41 card deck gives you like a 58% chance to draw at least 1 of these. And you know, you draw your engine, you can have a very minimal board of just Shenshin plus 1 of these, and without your Chuche even live, you can still win a lot of games. And there was actually 1 game that I opened Imperial Order and there can be only 1 against a Dragon Link player. So he activated Dark Ruler, and I chained Imperial Order, and then he chained Cosmic Cyclone to it, and then he normal summoned something, and then I just activated there can be only 1, and then we went to game 3 because that just auto wins the game for that deck. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Any concepts about this deck? Well, the way that I built my deck was I was thinking about what the weaknesses were. And like I said, its weaknesses are mostly like the traps and stuff. And I kind of gambled because like the way that my main deck was built, it was not going to be amazing against Dragon Link going second. But you know, there are hands that can play through their boards. If you have, you need a minimum of Kowloon plus 2 to 3 monsters and maybe a talent, something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. The matchups, hold on, let me just pull up the matchups real quick. The first round, I faced Prank Kids right away, and Twin Twisters actually came up already in that game. Because like I lost a die roll, game 1, in round 1 against Prank Kids, and I think I activated Ash on his first effect, but he had either instant fusion or 1-for-1 or like both, so he still was able to set up something. But I had Twin Twisters and just sniped his Pandemonium from the back row during the standby phase and just won the game. Round 2 was against Mech Knight, and I just went 2-1 against that guy. Invoked Shadow Dogmatica for round 3. That was rough because I think I lost the die roll there as well. I lost 5 die rolls today, and I still won 7 games because the deck is just, like I said, it's crazy going second. It's really crazy, except against Dragon Link. So yeah, Invoked Shadow Dogmatica, really grindy game, but was able to pull through. You just have to play the right cards because like this deck is insanely crazy if you get your engine going. Because I can show you. if you have your combo, you're gonna be going like Zolkin, Crystal Wing, and Shen Shen, and then you're gonna have your Chuchi live, right? And when you end your combo, the minimum that you're gonna have is these. Well, not the minimum. You could not have this, but like the ideal one is you have this. But even just Shen Shen Chuchi, you're gonna end on Lulu in hand and Qinglong in grave. So the way that it goes is, even if your opponent breaks your board, let's say everything gets wiped, so everything is in the grave, right? You have this in hand and you have this in grave. So you draw for turn, it's a blank card. You can go activate Shen Shen effect and you summon it, and you have a target for Lulu right away. And with that, you're gonna have another live Chuchi, and you still have one card in hand that you can discard off of Qinglong. Qinglong searches Lao Lao, and Lao Lao summons probably a level 6, or if you wanted to, you can go send Nian, summon Gigi, summon Nian, so that's another Synchro 6, and then if you have a Chuche, then you can put this into level 6, and then you can go into your rank 6s, these guys, and these are they're just really good. And for the Synchro 6, you could have gone to either of these two or the Coral Dragon as well. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you set up your board properly, if you combo with Gigi, then you're gonna have Lulu in hand, Qinglong in grave, Shen Shen on the grave as well, even if they break your board. So insane follow for the deck. Alrighty. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The next matchup was round 4 Prank Kids. At this point, yeah, I think both of us were X0 at this point, so it was Elise Chase. Shout out to her. Check her out on Twitch, YouTube, whatever. And she was playing Prank Kids as well. I lost a die roll, and I had 2 Kowloons and 2 Chuches and something that isn't a name, and then I just drew Lulu for turn. I tried to play through it. Game 1 I just lost, and then games 2 and 3 I just won it, and the MVP for those would be Gossip, because like I said, Gossip going second, you're trying to make a board, you have to play around Nib, because they're probably setting in Nib for you, because you know they're gonna see your combo, you're doing a lot of stuff, and they probably have Nib in there. So yeah, I just put this in. Put this on the board, try to be safe from Nib and break their board, set up Shen Shen, they can't play, and then just win. Round 5, Code Talker. I was surprised actually. He activated Silent Mining, pitched Sanctuary. I was like, is he playing Salamandrate? But he's not, he's playing Code Talker. Firewall hurts against this deck because it can't target Firewall and it bounces Quick Effect, so that's pretty good. But, you know, went 2-1, got through the game. I think I had Droll and Dark Wheeler game 3, so pretty good. Round 6 was Dragon Link, and I went 2-1 on this as well. Really grindy game. The first game I lost because, you know, I lost a die roll. Again, I lost 5 die rolls, and I lost the game 1. Game 2 I won, that's the one that I told you earlier, Imperial Order, and there can be only one. And game 3, it was just simplified game state. Shen Shen, Chuchi, and I had 2 Drolls in hand, and an Ash, I think. Something like that. So I just won it through that. Round 7, Prank Kids is the one that I lost. I think I lost the top 1 guy, the undefeated guy. I only lost because I drew something ridiculously bad. Like this. I had like this, maybe 1 Droll as well. And then I had the Xuan Wu. So yeah, it was Ghost Bell, GG, Xuan Wu, Droll. So game 3 I drew this. If I had any other name, if it was Lulu, if it was Nian Nian, if it was Tutu, Lily, literally any other name, or any of these, I would have won the game, because I would have set up Shen Shen, and we played out the game, and I almost won, but he never got to activate anything like a Droplets or something like that. And without that, Prank Kids just loses, because they can't activate their effects in grave if they don't go to the grave. So yeah, that was unfortunate. I could have gone EXO. Frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. It happens. The deck breaks sometimes, and just gotta live with that. For the last round, it was, I think, Invoked Eldritch Shaddoll Dogmatica. Really grindy game. I think it went into game 3 as well, close to time, but play your cards right and you win the game, basically. Just try to manage your resources properly, and you just outgrind your opponent. even if it's invoked Dogmatic or Shaddoll. Shaddoll's grind amazing, right? But you know, Shen just stops a lot of that because like I said, Shaddoll Fusion just get banished and stuff like that. And Alistair also has a hard time against this guy. So yeah, that'll be it for the profile. I didn't run Nib because I thought it was pretty crap against Dragon Link, and the decks that this deck I believe are weak to, they are just not playing into Nib. Like Zoo Eld, they can maybe play into Nib, but you're not keeping Nib in Game 2 and Game 3, right? Because they're just gonna play around it. Brankets can play around Nib as well, so that's why I built my deck the way I did. And that's pretty much gonna be it. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, or whatever, hit me up. That's gonna be the profile. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you on the next one.